Hello, my viewers. How are you guys doing today? I hope it's good because today we're going to be talking about a popular Roblox horror game called Doors. You may be wondering, what is Doors? Well, I'm going to be explaining that in this video. I'm also going to be explaining how the game works and the entities you can come across while playing the game, along with my own journey. So, what is Doors? Well, for you viewers who have been living under a rock, Doors is a horror game that takes place in a hotel, where there are various locked rooms, rooms with no power, and entities that you have to avoid along the way. Now, just like any other first-person game that most likely a lot of you guys have played, Doors works just like those, except with a couple of differences. Doors, just like every other game, uses WASD to move, but you can't jump or sprint. You can crouch, though, usually used to get under obstacles to get to something else, such as a key or the entrance to the next room. Now, as I've stated earlier, there are many entities to come across, well, in the hotel that you're in. The various monsters or entities that you can come across will most likely first be a great smiley face called Rush. As its name suggests, he'll rush by you after the lights flicker and will kill anything in its path. Next is Ambush. In simple terms, Ambush is just Rush, but he rebounds when hitting a wall, going the opposite direction and back again once another wall is touched. The next one is Screech, a flying ball-shaped creature with tentacles and a huge teethy smile. He will only appear in dark rooms that you'll sometimes stumble upon. Next entity is Eyes, a literal floating cluster of eyes. He will hurt you if you stare at him. Then there's Timothy. Timothy is a spider that hides in drawers. If you open the drawer that Timothy is in, Timothy will jump on your face and jump scare you, but will not kill you. Then there is Halt. Halt is a dark cyan ghost that resides in a long, dark hallway. It will tell you to turn around as you walk through the hall to slow you down. Walk the wrong direction twice and you're dead for sure. That's not even all of them, but the script is too long already, so let's just get into what happened while I played the game, shall we? Now, I first loaded into the elevator where I could then go into the pre-run shop and buy some lockpicks with some of the cash or coins that you can get while playing the game. The game's in-game currency, I guess. I then walked into the main lobby room after being introduced to crouching, and then grabbed the key that will soon to unlock the door to exit this specific room. After unlocking the door and going into room number 4, I ended up getting introduced to a nice little friendly entity that I mentioned earlier called Rush. Hid in a closet, and I am home free from him for now. Then, I decided to go into room 6 and then basically get jump scared by Timothy before having to hide in a closet again because the Rush is pretty common, so there'll be a lot of times I have to hide from him, of course. After a little bit of stumbling around, I walk into the next room and see an eyeball on the walls. I go into the next room and, well, there are more eyes on the walls. Now, 2 of them on top of each other is not a common occurrence, so I was kind of interested in that. Looked at the paintings. Apparently they're not paintings. So, what happens if you get to the end of this sequence? Well, it's actually really interesting. After you get to the end of the sequence, you'll go into the long hallway that will lead to the next, well, quote-unquote boss entity of the game. Or the first one you'll actually get to. And this guy is Seek. He rises from the ground after stumbling to the end of the hallway, and he will start chasing you. You'll have to crouch under random obstacles before eventually either getting caught by him or getting to the end of the chase sequence in time for him to later be locked out of getting you. Usually after a little bit of walking around after Seek's chase, you will stumble upon room 49, which will lead you to quite a couple of drawers and, of course, the second boss you'll ever encounter in Doors. Now, what is this, you may ask? Well, it's actually really anticlimactic if you think about it. Once you actually decide to walk into the room, you'll see this weird, long, lanky figure. Well, figure. That's his actual name. He's actually completely blind, but does have really good hearing, so you're gonna have to start crawling around to, well, not make him quote-unquote see you. You have to collect all of these books to solve a puzzle translating shapes into numbers, which then gives you a code to lead you out of the library. The paper that I just picked up is, well, the key, basically telling you which shape in which order. After I got the key, or the code, I decided to get out of the library basically immediately. Then I walked into this room, which will introduce you to actually friendly entities? Yeah, not what I was expecting either. This guy's named Jeff. He owns his own little shop that gives you, well, these really cool items like keys and crucifixes. Crucifixes will basically send entities to the Shadow Realm. Now, after even more walking, I decided to walk out into this amazing place called the Courtyard. Basically a nice little temporary safe place for where you're going to be, of course. And that is going to be the gardens, or the garden rooms. They are completely dark at all times, and you need a flashlight. Why? So you can see the ground. Now, the reason you need to see the ground is because of this entity called Snare, who's basically like a bear trap. Step on him, and he will spike you, and hurt you really bad. If you make it through the garden rooms, you'll end up into door 100. Door 100 is completely different from all of the other rooms you're going to be in, and that's because it involves this really interesting type puzzle, and it's basically the end game of some sorts, where you open this huge gate, and it will reveal that your nice old friend from door 50 figure is ready to kill you again, where you'll go have to turn around and hide. Eventually waiting him out with this weird little mini-game, like a rhythm game of some sort, where you have to click the respective key on your mouse to actually hit the heartbeats, which will keep your breathing steady and make Figure not kill you. Once Figure goes away, you can walk into the main room where you can then get an electrical key, which will lead you into the electrical room that has been locked. But you'll then walk up to the power and realize that, well, all the circuits aren't there that you need. So you're gonna have to go back and find them all. After finding them all and putting them in, it's time to get to the really fun puzzle, where it will tell you which ones to turn on and which ones not to. And you're gonna have to do this 3 separate times to power the elevator so you can escape the hotel. Then, the door behind you will start to bust open, where Figure will then start to chase you to the elevator, where you will then walk in and escape. You walk into the elevator, or run into it actually, press the button, and it's end game. Now honestly, I love this game. It's really good and really well made, and I'm pretty sure you guys should play it if you haven't already. Maybe even beat it if you feel like it. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content that I'm making right now. Bye!